music, for whatever reason, struck a chord in me that just really set a tone for my life. I remember one time when I was a kid, I would take an amplifier that I had, and I would put the speakers in the window outside, and I would put a record on and hook up some wires to that speaker, because they didn't have auxiliary speakers and Bluetooth back then, and play it for my neighborhood. The Capital Region was an amazing place to grow up if you loved music and you loved media, because you had television stations, radio stations, music everywhere. You had Led Zeppelin and Janis Joplin, and I believe Jeff Beck played Aerodrome, which was a bowling alley up on State Street. 1975, when coming home one day, I noticed they had put a cable TV box in our living room in Schenectady. And I said, oh my God, you've got not 3 channels or 4 channels, you've got 30 channels. And most of the channels on the cable box were blank. So to me, I was like, why can't we put music on one of these? I tried to get a job somewhere in the networks to do this out of college, out of Syracuse, and I couldn't get a job. I took a job with CBS, and they put me in the record division. I met Bob Pittman, who had been in Chicago and radio, who had moved to New York and had been hired to develop a music service for a cable company. And I heard about that, and I said, that's where I have to be. So I just called him and called him and called him for 6 months. Finally took my call, and he said, you know, this isn't even started yet. There's 3 people developing this. I said, I'll be one of those. He said, it's not real yet. And I said, it's okay, I'll quit my job. I want to do this. This is my calling. And so I moved to New York in early 1980. We developed it late 80, and 1981 we launched MTV. Well, MTV's meteoric rise was not so meteoric. Like most startups, there's some stumbles, some trips, some falls. Most people only remember it as, you know, this cultural revolution, the MTV generation. We were, I like to say, we were like a 3 or 4 year overnight sensation. Those were tough times early on, but because we knew that kid in Schenectady, New York, or Syracuse, or Chicago, or Denver was obsessed watching these videos, we knew we were onto something, and we just weren't going to quit. I would be picking up James Taylor or The Clash at the airport and taking them to a radio station. I would be talking to Pete Townsend about something, or Mick Jagger, and these are people when I was in 5th grade. I was just staring at the album covers and wanting to be them. So for me, the idea that there I was, right there in the middle of it all, talking to them about their careers and helping them get exposed, I'd do that for free. For me, I've always been driven by fear of failure. I'm constantly looking for the next great, exciting idea or challenge. But the through line of it all is music, entertainment, and helping people escape. I love what I do today as much as I did when I was 12 years old listening to records in my bedroom. It's in my DNA. It's what I love to do.